All right, hello and welcome. This is a load balancer video, a proper load balancer video, in which we are going to allow external access to the OPSB suite, or at least to the OMT/CDF/item platform, which we deployed earlier. So the sequence was like this. There was a video for installing, deploying infrastructure, a video for installing OMT/CDF/item platform, all of those names, it's the same thing. And the third video is a very short one, is for how do I allow external access to what I installed, because as you know, when you deploy in AWS using all defaults, it creates an encapsulated environment which connects to itself. It doesn't allow any external access. It's very secure. But how do I go on the inside? Now, one of the methods is, of course, creating a Windows machine on the inside of this network that belongs to the OPSB suite deployment, and going from the inside using, like, let's say, a jump server. Another way is to use load balancing, and this is exactly what we're going to cover in this video. So let's see. In the previous video, we created an internal load balancer, which gave us some misleading output over here, but that doesn't matter. What's matter is that we created a load balancer that allows all of the API calls between all the components to work, and it's an internal one, and we are going to use it for our own purposes. So I'm going here to the target groups in the EC2, and as you see, all of those groups were created by the installation itself, and one of them is called Student83 TG-TLS, and it has something very nice over here. It has several targets, and it still tries to connect to them. No, it already did. So as you see, one of them is unhealthy. It means there is nothing sitting on that side of the deal. It's because the setup is minimalistic, not multi-zone, multi-availability zone, not HA. So only one of the targets will work. And this is exactly what I need. So I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to actually create a target group right now. Although I could do it at the same go, creating a load balancer and a target group at the same time, I prefer to do it like this, so it would be logically separated as knowledge item here for this video, right? So we're using the IP addresses. I'm going to call it student83, and then I think it allows hyphens, right? So it's going to be public target group. Going to be TLS on port 5443. Okay, and I'm going to be using the student 83 VPC for it. And health checks, I don't really care about health checks. I'll go to the next stage, and I'm going to paste the IP that I had previously copied, and I'm going to say include as a pending below. Basically, creating the target, right? And I create a target group. So that's portion number one. Then I'll go to EC2 itself. I'll go to the load balancers, and I'm going to create a new load balancer of the network load balancer type. And it's going to be named student83 public LB. Okay, and it's going to be internet facing. It's going to belong to the student 83 VPC. I'm going to include all of the zones, and only the public subnets are going to be included, right? That's the only thing that I need. The protocol is going to be TLS. The port is going to be 5443. And the target group that fits this description, it actually checks. It's the one that we created earlier, right? So basically we say in the load balancer, there's going to be a rule that checks if you're going with this port for the protocol TLS, and whatever traffic you have to forward it to this target group that has specification of where the hell the signal is going to go, right? So this is where we defined earlier. Of course, you can just add a listener and go through the process from here, or create the target group, sorry. But we don't want that, not for now, okay? And then security listener, of course, we're going to use defaults. And here we need to use the certificate which was created by the installation. So student 83. And here's the summary, and we're going to create a load balancer. Now, the way that I understand load balancer is that, see, it says provisioning. Provisioning is a beautiful name for creating a machine that you cannot really access, which would be acting as a load balancer with some stuff on it, right? And it goes and creates it inside the VPC. If I remember correctly, I don't think it's based on some specific mechanism that serves all of the customers. I think it just goes and creates a real small machine inside your VPC to act as a load balancer with some rules. I might be mistaken, but maybe it changed. I don't know, but that's the information that I have. In the meanwhile, as you see, it created the DNS name, which is not enough. So we will go to Route 53. And in this Route 53, we will be matching the external access to the one that we created, right? So as you see, there's like student 83, and if you'll go on the inside, it has this OPSB student 83, but that's for the inside, right? It's internal. The C name is just an internal one that is used for API calls from inside the suite or whatever is inside the same VPC. From outside, when I go to this domain, it's an internal one, right? That's a private, so that it doesn't have any significance. I do have a public one that I created and bought a domain for it, and what I need to match is the addresses that I'm going to put inside my address bar to whatever is corresponding to it on the server, right? So I need to have an entry that matches it. So I'm going to create a record, and the subdomain is going to match the one that I entered during this OPSB suite setup, right? So it's going to be OPSB student 83. I think I missed it. Student 83. Okay, and it's going to be routing to and to alias. So let's choose an endpoint. It's going to be load balancer, alias to application to network load balancer. The region is going to be US East 2. And the load balancer is going to be student 83 public load balancer. That's the one that I created before. So I'm going to hit create records. And it created this record, which is nice. Now, the point is, would it work? And the answer is, it depends if the provisioning here is complete. So let's see, it's still provisioning, meaning that if I'll go to the URL, you know what, what the hell, I'm going to copy it from the install. If you remember, there's like an install output for the OPSB suite, OMT. So that's the one, right? So I will have to go and put the URL over here. I don't need to bookmark it. And I'm going to hit enter. And it's going to say, whoa, certificate, self-signed certificate. We don't like it. And I'm going to say accept the risk and continue, of course. But then it will fail to connect. Why would it fail to connect? Because it went to the TLS of the load balancer. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the load balancer is able to go to the OPSB suite just yet. It's still in provisioning state. Not everything happened. Okay, if we would do it even faster, okay, it's in active mode right now. If we do it in even faster, even this first security warning wouldn't happen. Now, if I remember correctly, the new Firefox, same as Chrome, would try to go to this URL until it determines that there's nowhere to go. So let's wait for the load balancer to kick in properly. And once it's done, then it's going to try and log into the application. Secure connection failed. That's it, completely fine. We just need to do it several more times until it works. So let's just wait for it. And after a couple of minutes, here we are. So I'll go in with the cloud admin and whatever credentials, and I'm in. I have myself an app hub. So that's the load balancing section. Basically, in this video, we allowed ourselves, just by own computer here, to get inside the Hub application. And to do so, we created a load balancer, which actually allows this to happen. And we did it by actually copying the settings from the internal load balancer. There's going to be a separate video where I'm attempting to deploy an external load balancer from the get-go, from like immediately, but I don't know how well it would work. So this method works every single time, and it's a little bit more secure because you control the whole process. So definitely a way to go about it. And yeah, I think I see you in the next one.